Welcome everybody to Wishes for Wildlife 2023. We have a lot of fun in store for you. We've got a great auction. There's something for everyone. There's trips, there's items for your patio and garden, there's collectibles, there's one-of-a-kinds. Everyone's gonna find something that they can get excited about. So we want you to bid. But before we go there, I'm going to take you behind the scenes like we do on other occasions. Usually we go behind the scenes and we see the animals that we help, but today I want you to see the people who take care of the animals that we help. The lifeblood of the organization, the volunteers. So follow along, check it all out, and then go back and bid with enthusiasm so those volunteers can continue to do their job to nurture the nature of Arizona.
My name is Stephen Kay, and I learned about this volunteer opportunity with Liberty from volunteering with Chase, my employer who I work for. When I signed up for the volunteer event, it was one of our operations revitalization events at Chase. We do a lot of volunteer events throughout the year. I heard that it was at Liberty and all the different animals, so I really wanted to come check it out. While I was here, there was over 100 people doing a variety of different things, but I was helping move rocks and gravel, helping pull weeds, and yeah, really just cleaning up the grounds, helping to revitalize a little bit. And I learned about the rescue and transport volunteer opportunity. Being an animal lover, especially a bird lover, I couldn't sign up fast enough. I was so excited to hear that I would get to go out and rescue different types of birds, including owls, falcons, hawks, and it's been super exciting. I signed up in 2019 and I've loved it ever since. When I first learned about the volunteer opportunities here, rescue and transport is what I was immediately drawn to. I've rescued wild animals on my own before, but being able to volunteer for an organization like Liberty was really exciting to me. So with rescue and transport, we get notified usually via an instant message app that we have. Sometimes we get called or texted as well, letting us know about different wild animals like hawks, falcons that have gone down in the wild and are in need of rescue. And it's really exciting. So one of my favorite rescues was rescuing a great blue heron from a lake. It had some fishing line wrapped around its beak and it was still flighted. So it was very challenging to catch. I had to go out multiple days, but eventually I got it and I was able to take off the fishing line and re-release it back right to the lake. I checked on it a few days later. It was doing great. A lot of the locals around the lake too were really happy about it. They saw that it was not doing well, and so they were really excited to see that it was much better. What I love most about this job is how heartwarming it can be when you rescue an animal and you see it on that road to recovery. You see that you've made a difference for it in being able to get it the medical care that it needs. One of my other favorite rescues was a Gila woodpecker. It had gotten into some cactus and it had cholla cactus attached to it. And so it had all these cactus barbs stuck into it, and I brought it into Liberty. We were able to get the cactus out, and within a few hours it was jumping around. It was super happy. My favorite animal really of all time is the peregrine falcon, and I've gotten to rescue a few of those. The fastest animal on the planet, diving speeds over 200 miles per hour. So I've gotten to, be able to handle and rescue a few of those and see them on the road to recovery, as well as release them. And again, super heartwarming. And you see the difference too, or you see the difference it means to people when they call you out for a rescue and they see you're able to help the animal. It makes a difference to the public. It helps encourage donations for Liberty. And it's just an overall heartwarming experience. You didn't like that video?
I started during COVID. I had been ushering at Herberger and ran out of things to do because Herberger was closed. Corinne and Bland wrote a wonderful article about Liberty Wildlife. That might be a cool place to go to volunteer now, use some time. And I came here. I didn't know much about, I knew some animals. I didn't know much about birds. So maybe it's a crow? Well, now I know they're grackles and crows are much bigger. I've learned so much working here about all the different birds. I didn't even know we had cuckoos in the United States. and I learned about that, and in fact that roadrunners are cuckoos. So working here has been one of the best experiences. I've learned so much here, and the people are so nice. In intake, people bring in their injured animal, whatever it is, any native Arizona animal. We get information from them about the animal, what they've done to intervene and think they're taking care of it. And so we get information roughly equivalent to an ER in a reception in an ER. Unfortunately, not including insurance information because they don't have any. We do ask for donations if they're able. We then take them over to triage, roughly equivalent to ER, where they get their immediate care and a plan of continuing care action. The thing I love most is the people and how enthusiastic they are about the care of these animals and the care of the world in general. Most of the people here, well, really, I've not met any that are not concerned for the general ecology and nature of Arizona.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm a volunteer here at Liberty Wildlife. I started here back in September 2020. It was during the pandemic, and so with all my extra free time, I was just browsing YouTube and stuff. And I came across videos of people working with raptors and injured wildlife in general. I thought that was an amazing thing. I didn't even realize it was something people could do. So then I just started researching what's in the area of Arizona where you can go volunteer and work with these animals. And I quickly came across Liberty, and it was a perfect match because the main thing I found was like working with hawks and owls, falcons. You know, that was the cool stuff I found on YouTube. So yeah, it was just a great match here. Yeah, so I do a bunch of roles here. Daily care twice a week. From there, I've started to do med services. Do that another 2 days a week. I've joined the mammal team, so it's like daily care, but for the mammals, it's a separate department. And then also our education side, where I get to work with our birds and take them out on presentations. I'm here 4 days a week at least. So daily care is a very important part of what happens here at Liberty Wildlife. We are responsible for feeding all of the animals that are in our care, keeping their spaces clean so they can live a nice, healthy, happy life. And it's something we do it every day, every morning, get here at sunrise. We go through every enclosure, clean any poop or leftover food. We refill all their waters, and then we give them new food for the day. Birds and wildlife don't take holidays off, so we're here every day. We have a different team for every morning, taking care of the birds in the rain, the sunshine, and the winter when it's getting into the 30s here in Arizona. It's cold for us. Or middle of summer when it's 110 at sunrise. We work through it all to get these guys taken care of. Yeah. So through my time doing daily care, I've really come to love ICU. It's a neat space where you get to be really hands-on with the animals. Yeah, once they get over to the outdoor rehab side, they're making their last steps to recovery and being released. So we keep our space from them. We don't bother them because we want them to be as little stressed out as possible. But in ICU, that's their first stop. They come to our intake window, they get looked at by med services, and they go in there to be taken care of until they're self-sustaining. So we have to move them daily clean their spaces, and again, all the feeding, all the same stuff there, but yeah, we get to handle with birds, which is a really neat opportunity. That's become my life.
I was raised in the South in a very small hometown, and my father was a biologist. So I've loved nature and the environment since I was really small, and especially I picked up a passion toward birds. And I was so thrilled when I found this place that I felt like I could make an important contribution to the environment and to what was going on in Arizona. And I feel like I have. Thousands of birds I know I have been instrumental in helping be raised and then being released into the wild to go live their best lives. Hi, I'm Nancy, and I'm a volunteer down here at Liberty Wildlife. Orphan care is my favorite. So I come one day a week. That's just my commitment. And if you are going to volunteer here, you have to know that you can't just drop in and out at when you feel like it. You've got to make a commitment to really come on your set time. There's some of the birds that come in there that we have to feed every 20 minutes, especially the little birds that have no feathers. They're in a special incubator. Diets for most of the birds is cat food, the hard cat food. So we have big bowls of that, along with fruit and worms, crickets. It just depends on the bed, certain things. There are some that just get waxworms. There are some that just get mealworms, and then others, our pigeons and our doves, we have to tube feed them a special mixture. So my very first day in orphan care, my very first little box of birds that came in was 5 house finches. And I took one look at that and I was so hooked. It was like an addiction. I had to keep doing this, and each one that would come in that would be put down in front of me to feed was just got better and better. So when I would try to tell my friends about this, I was hoping my enthusiasm would connect with them. So after all these years, a dozen years of being down here, I would send my daughter pictures of what was going on, every now and then little videos about these cute, she would go, "Oh, that's cute, Mom, oh, that's cute." So this past July, we were down 2 people. Suddenly 2 people on my shift couldn't come, and there was no way I could handle it. So I called her. I gave her the insect eaters, which was the easiest thing. I thought that would be easy for her to jump into and feed. And her eyes got really big, and she was loving every second of it. And she said, "All those pictures you sent me over the years, I thought were cute." But she said to actually be here and to do it yourself means 100% more. And I was reminded of years ago when I first started, there was a psychiatrist that used to come in, and she was working in the medical section of it, in the ICU. And I remember her vividly saying that the reason she loved to do it was because her job was stressful. And she could come in to Liberty Wildlife with all the wonderful people, the wonderful birds, and she could just focus on that and get rid of all the bad things, the negative things, the unhappy things that were going on in her life, and focus on just pure happiness of being in there.
As an interpretive guide, we get here about half an hour before we open to the public. We set up the gift shop. We have a nice shop with t-shirts and other objects about animals. Hi, I'm Sylvia, and I'm an interactive guide here at Liberty Wildlife. I discovered Liberty Wildlife when I brought in a baby quail. Like a lot of people, they bring in a bird and they discover this amazing place. Liberty Wildlife was actually closed to the public that day, so I came back later because it looked interesting to me, and I did a tour, and I was amazed. I just couldn't believe all the work being done here, all the wildlife, so I signed up to be a volunteer. The reason I wanted to work as an interpretive guide is I was in education for about 20 years, and I really like that aspect of working here at Liberty Wildlife, educating the public about the wildlife, the work that's being done, the work that needs to be done, how we can care for the wildlife in our community. And it's also educational for me. I've been a backyard bird watcher, but I'm learning so much about birds here.
Me and my grandma saw this little thing.
Oh yes, yeah, the little coil piece, yeah. Yep, he bought. What do you see in there? There's fishy. See the fish? Once our guests arrive, the interpretive guide's job is to give them the history of Liberty Wildlife, talk to them about our mission, and give them a tour about the two different sides, the medical side, the educational side, and answer any questions they may have. The interpretive guides also lead private tours and field trips, and I have to say that I really love doing the field trips. I feel really comfortable doing that. I feel like I can speak with the students and connect with them and help them learn more about Liberty Wildlife and the amazing animals we have here.
So, I'm Rick Ehrman. I've been involved with wildlife since I was about 21 years old. I'm now 75. My first linkage to Liberty Wildlife was through my veterinarian, a guy by the name of Dr. Irv Ingram. He recruited me. I'm a carpenter by trade, and we built a whole lot of things in his backyard, mews and large fly pens and such like. And then life kind of took me away for 40 some years, and Irv called me up again one day and said, hey, Liberty's moved and we need your help down here. At that time, we were rebuilding all of the doors on the rehabilitation side, the main entry doors. And then Megan asked me to get involved in putting a new fence around the educational side pens. So we recruited some folks that are in the steel industry. They fabbed up some panels, we put those in. We then moved to putting new steel doors on all those entries. I think there's 13 of them. Ease of entry, and also basically longevity, if you talk about that, dovetails into sustainability. Then Megan asked me to help put in the condor enclosure, and we had concrete poured and a steel structure set on top of that. Then we did some carpentry inside for perches and buttoning the whole thing up so the birds can't get out. And then we got involved about, 6 months later. The avian flu and the impact on the condors created the need for more flight area. So we're currently in the process of building that. We have most of the footings dug. We have 30 some vents built. The wood is painted, and now we're waiting for concrete to be poured so we can begin assembly of that structure, which created this place today. So it's kind of, my life has gone full circle from flying birds to taking care of birds.
We have a team on Saturday that comes in, and we take care of what we call our educational ambassadors. Liberty Wildlife releases absolutely every animal that comes in here that can go back to the wild. There are some that cannot be returned to the wild for injuries that didn't quite heal all the way, or because they're imprinted. And those animals will go over to our education side, and those are our educational ambassadors. Those are the ones that we use to teach the fine folks that don't know anything about Liberty about the animals in their area. I first heard about Liberty Wildlife through the Desert Rivers Audubon group that I had recently signed up, and they were doing a field trip out here, and I came out here and I was stunned, shocked, and amazed. I have never seen such a facility. We did a tour of the hospital side, the x-ray machines, there were surgeries going on. the rehab center, and then we came over to the education center. And I was equally stunned. We could get right up close to the birds. We could take pictures. People told us all about them. And I thought, this is amazing. And they had vultures, my mother's favorite bird. So I went home and I immediately called my mom and I said, we have to go. You have to see this place. You will not believe the vultures. So the next weekend we came out and she was amazed at it. And she looked at me and she said, you should volunteer. And I thought, when am I ever going to find the time to volunteer? And I had already been thinking about it from the previous week. And I thought, why not? They probably wouldn't take me, but why not? So I put in my application and lo and behold, they took me. What I really found I liked was I was absolutely amazed by the education team on the ed side. And I thought that these people came in already with falconry skills. Lo and behold, I found out they didn't, that Liberty would actually train them. I'm here every single Saturday at 5 a.m. I begin food prep. We make sure that all of our educational ambassadors have the food prepped and ready to go. And then we come out to the education side before the public even gets here, and we hand feed roughly 70 different animals, primarily birds of prey. We get them on our gloves, we weigh them, we look them over, we make sure they're okay, we feed them, we get them ready for prime time, and we will take these birds out to schools. We do STEAM nights, we take them out to all different kinds of programs. We talk to folks about things that they shouldn't be doing, like putting out pesticides or rodenticides, how that affects those birds, and also how those same birds can help to keep the rodent populations down at their house, how to eat the bugs that are on their gardens, and how they can attract them to their yards. Because they are, let's face it, it's a ton of fun to talk to your neighbors about these raptors that you have in your trees around your neighborhood. But we have all these different teams that do all these amazing things, and there's something here for everybody. If you don't like birds, then that's fine. You can do the reptiles. We have squirrels. We have bobcats. We have a quadamundi. We have a possum. There's so many different things that you can learn out here. We have the teen program. The teens will teach you everything you want to know about the lizards and toads and frogs and scorpions and tarantulas, and we have all of that here at Liberty. It's just an amazing place.
Hello, my name is Grayson.
Hi, I'm Viv.
We are teen volunteers at Liberty Wildlife.
Okay. Do you want to go?
Sure.
Okay.
So I first heard about Liberty Wildlife when my brother and I went to the Rio Salado Audubon Center, and we would go to see their presentations about birds because, you know, we love animals, we love all things animals, and they brought in a lot of animals that were rehabbed from Liberty Wildlife, a lot of animal ambassadors. So after that, we kind of learned about the intake window, and you know that birds that we found injured, we could like rescue them and take them to Liberty Wildlife. And then we learned about the teen volunteer program around like 4 years ago. My brother had already been volunteering for about a year, and so we knew about the volunteer program, and then I joined.
I learned about Liberty Wildlife because me and my mom had an injured bird, and then my mom started volunteering here, and when I got the opportunity to start volunteering, I did, and I did the teen program. I think I started about 5 years ago, so this will be my 5th year.
Wonderful.
My favorite part is getting to interact with families, especially kids, and get them to interact with wildlife that they might not normally interact with, and get to actually think about nature and all the cool stuff that we have to show them.
My favorite part about Liberty Wildlife is probably the education aspect of it, that you go here, and if you have like an interest and a love of animals, this is like a really great part about it. you can just like talk about them to anybody, and you know, you can actually like engage in some really like interesting you can like talk about the animal and make it like really interesting, and other people, you know, random people who maybe they don't like animals a lot, or you know, maybe they do but they don't know a lot about them, they'll be a lot more interested in them. And it's just kind of like just like educating random people, you know, you can kind of see. But, one of my favorite animals to work with is Tito. He is our Mexican black king snake. One of the reasons why I like him so much is because he's grown a lot in recent years. We got him in March of 2019, and he was a baby. So he was just kind of like this big. No, he was more like this big, but he was very small and very thin throughout most of the COVID years. And then he grew a lot. And I also like him because he really stands out because he has this like a black shiny coat of scales, and it's kind of hard to miss him. And it's always cool to use him to like talk about the diversity of king snake species, because a lot of people are used to king snakes that are black and yellow, but there are many different kinds. There are ones that are black, you know, completely black. There are ones that are red, white, and black. The ones that mimic the coral snakes, and so he's one of my favorites.
One of my favorite snakes at Liberty Wildlife to interact with the public with is Hoya. She's one of our older snakes, and she's a Samoan lake snake, and she mimics a coral snake, and it's really fun to interact with the public about venomous snake species and how other species mimic.
I thought that he was talking to you, but
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a lot from seeing what our volunteers do. In fact, perhaps you saw something you'd like to do. You'd be amazed at how much we train our people. People come in with no experience at all, and they're doing what you just saw. So check our website out, check out the orientation, see if there's something that you can do. Once again, there's something for everyone. And we realize a lot of you would wish for coming for events back on our campus like Wishes for Wildlife used to be. Well, guess what? We have one coming up November the 4th, our Condors and Cocktails event, 4 to 7 on a Saturday afternoon. It's a really fun event. I think you won't want to miss it. So sign up, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for everything you've done. We hope you go back to bidding and that you are enthusiastic about your bidding. You know, it stays open. The auction's open till Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Don't hesitate to bid. Don't hesitate to go beyond the value, because it all goes to a good cause. Thanks.
Learning how to live with them in those urban environments is quite important.
It is a magnificent thing to see animals come to our hospital orphaned or at death's door, see them through the rehabilitation process, and then to be able to release them. It is just the most wonderful experience.
we're connected to the next thing, which is connected to the next thing, and if you pull one piece out of that tapestry, it's not the same.
I enjoy being curious about the world around me. I like going to an area where around every tree or under every rock is something new, something interesting that I don't completely understand yet.
Animals and the animal world are teachers, are educators to us. It's not just human beings at the top of the food chain, that we are learning from each other. It's a circle